Yes, my first experience as a Pawnee Black Bear was that year, and so yeah, it's a big rivalry. I learned, and it always is a very physical game every single year. Yeah, I mean, no, we didn't. But that's the way it goes sometimes when you're dealing with spread offense. You're dealing with fast quarterback that can scoot around, and they had two or three kids there that were really pretty good athletes. And I feel last couple of weeks or those first 2 weeks we were stuck with teams under center, running the ball, and kind of got out of our used to the spread offense situation, and it got away from us quite a bit. So I think we've worked on some stuff this week and got that under control, and now we can settle back in and get ready for another quarterback that's going to be just as good as that one or better from Hominy. That kid can go. Good looking quarterback. Oh, yeah. They've got a slot receiver that's real quick. Their running back is a good receiver out of the backfield and good running back. They're big. They've got some actual size this year. They haven't been real big the last few years, but they've got some pretty good sized linemen. They've got a big, I guess you would call him a fullback or a slot or whatever he is, a big blocking guy, probably 200 pounds or more. So they've got some size. They've got some other players. The quarterback is what makes that offense go, but that running back and that slot receiver and the outside receiver, good athletes. They've got good skill guys. It was good for the offense to get going like that. I mean, that's something that we are capable of doing, and I feel as that offensive line spends more time together each week, they're going to get a little bit more comfortable with each other, communicating a little bit more comfortable, and we'll just get better and better. And we saw progress every single week. So that you run into somebody that's never ran up against us, which Meeker had never seen that before. And it's tough to stop. You don't going into it looking at it on film, you think you're going to be in this or you're going to do this or you're going to try that. Well, none of that works. And I mean, we had 500 and some odd yards rushing. Jacob Warnock, 37 carries, 279-yard rushing, and 5 touchdowns. And those are his 5 first touchdowns that he's ever scored in high school. So that was exciting to see. Colby Novotny again, every time he has the ball in his hands, something exciting happens. He had over 100 yards rushing. So those 4 guys in the backfield all did their job, and we protected the ball well and ran the ball hard, and it was good from that standpoint. Now we've got some stuff we need to fix on the defense, and we knew that. We're running a new scheme. The kids are just getting into this, so there's going to be some growing pains, and we're young, and we have 2 or 3 freshmen that play on that side of the ball. So it's going to take a little bit of time for it to come together and everybody get it. But we're pleased with the week of practice we had. The kids practiced hard. We correct the problems that we had last week, and hopefully going forward this next week we'll have some of that stuff fixed. Well, we're 0-0. We've got to get 4 or 5 wins in this district to make it to the playoffs. And starting right out of the gate, we feel Hominy is probably one of the top teams in the district. So it's going to be a tough test early in the year. And then we've got a pretty good string of them. We go Hominy, Tonkawa, Woodland, and that's 3 of the, Tonkawa was a quarterfinals team last year in a different district. Now they're in our district. Woodland was a quarterfinals and the number 2 seed out of our district. So they're tough and, always going to be tough. So those 3 games right in a row are important. So we've got to get some wins here, and we've got to, we've got to be ready. And our kids have worked hard. They worked hard starting in the summer. Those 3 non-district games were good learning tools, and I feel that there's been things each week that we've learned and been able to get better the next week. So hopefully we'll just keep doing that. And it's going to be a long, tough district for everybody. Hominy's got to play Woodland, and they've got to play Tonkawa and Morrison and us. So they're going to have to play the same people. So we're all going to get a shot at each other, and you've just got to keep going and get through it and see who comes out in the end. I believe definitely they have. I mean, last week we faced an offense that kind of had its way with us. So we had some adversity there that we're going to have to overcome, and we overcame it with the offense. So, the 2 games before that, the defense bailed us out, and the offense was having some growing pains and not clicking as well as it could. So all of that stuff, those 3 games all had important things happen to them, I felt. Okemah was big, physical, right out of the gate. That's a tough game. You go up to Moreland, you're down by 14 at halftime. You have to overcome that, and we did. And then in this game, it's back and forth, and every time the offense was on the field, we had to score. So you face a lot of adversity, and you should learn from that, and that make you better. So going into this, it's going to be a knockdown drag out between all these teams in this district to try to get those 4 playoff spots. So those 3 games, if we'd have went out and blown out some people, well, what do you learn from that? You might get your JV in, and they might get more reps, which is great, but I don't know that you learn. Down 14-0 and coming back scoring 22 unanswered to beat Moreland, you can learn a lot from that, and you can gain some character as a football team. And then being in a shootout, as unpleasant as it is, you still had to compete the whole game to pull that out. And those kids did. They never give up. And we know that's the type of kids we have. They're not going to give up. They're not going to quit. They're not going to, put their head down and sulk because they gave up a touchdown pass. We're going to get back out there, drive the length of the field, sometimes taking all 4 downs, and just keep doing it. And they did. They responded. So I'm hoping those 3 games helped us to get prepared for what's not going to be easy, because there's nothing going to be easy in this district. Nothing's going to be given to anybody. Everybody that gets out of this district is going to be in a pretty good position, I think, to go into the playoffs and beat somebody. We feel confident if we can just get in. You've never seen us. You haven't played against this. We're physical. And that physical type of offense and that physical type of attitude will help us over some of these teams when we get in the playoffs. We saw that last year. Oh, outstanding. I think on special teams, I think we've got 5 turnovers on special teams. That's been great. Sure, that helps big time. Oh, Friday night. The Friday night is the 20th anniversary of the Pawnee Black Bears 2002 state runner-up team. And we're doing a little celebration. We've invited all of those players back and coaches and everybody that was a part of that to, kind of recognize that team. That's a special thing. And I remember I was at that game, 2002, watching it and know a lot of the players that are on that team. And I think that's exciting for them to get an opportunity to come back and everybody recognize them. We'll bring the silver ball out here. So that's an exciting thing. We're going to get everybody here, feed them, halftime, get out there and recognize them. We've got a banner and get some pictures of them. I think it'll be a neat event. It'll be great to have some of those people come back.
Or the week or something?
Yes, we have, we talk with the kids, and after each game the next week, we've watched film and discussed stuff. We come up with an offensive player of the game, or offensive player of the week, and a defensive player of the week. So the first week we had John Sherman and Colby Novotny. And then the second week was Jacob Warnock, who I think he had 31 carries, 120 yards rushing in that grinding game at Moreland. And Xavier Barber was our defensive player of the week. He came in at halftime and really gave the defense a spark, made a lot of plays. And then we haven't chosen our people for this week, but yep, we're getting a picture of them, and Ranchburger gets the MVPs a pizza each week. So it's kind of a neat little thing where we get an opportunity to recognize some people that did stuff in those games. Oh,
a little bit more motivating.
I think it does. I think it's good to recognize those kids in front of the team, and we put it on Facebook and everything in front of the school. Every Thursday night when we have our team meal is when we announce last week's player of the game. So I think it's a good opportunity for those kids to get some recognition and kind of what they did. We're looking for sparks that got the offense going, sparks in the defense. And it doesn't have to be big name people. It's some people that have just made some plays and got in there. And we've seen a lot of players that it's their first opportunity, like John Sherman, our first week, it was his first opportunity to play defensive line and have an impact. So that's exciting to see those kids, and I think recognizing them is a good thing. Yeah, we got to go easy. I mean, I push these guys pretty hard. All these coaches really step up and do a lot of help, and I mean, we've got coaches that help us out on Friday night that are coaching 5th and 6th grade and helping out with middle school. So it's awesome. It's awesome.